Hey y'all, it's Nate. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. In this video, I am here to discuss Aniya and KC. Yes, the infamous at this point, Aniya and KC. So right now we are smack in the middle of Love Island USA Season 8. And there is a ton of discourse around Aniya, around KC, around which one of them is the villain. Someone left a comment on one of my videos yesterday or today saying, one of them is leaving Casa Amor as the villain. I wholeheartedly agree. One of them is going to be painted a villain by the court of public opinion. And the way that this is going, it might actually end up being both of them. There seems to be two different schools of thought here. One is that Aniya is the villain, we sick of her, get her off our island. Two is that KC is the villain. I will say I am in the KC camp, but today I am gonna do my best to be as non-biased as possible. I'm here to present a mostly comprehensive timeline of everything that has happened thus far between KC and Aniya on Love Island USA Season 8. And it took your girl a while to pull these clips. I definitely want to hear your thoughts below. So I have all of the clips literally cut up. So let's just talk about the intros. Day one, when the girls walk into the villa, before they play any games, before the guys even get there, they have a conversation with Ariana, obviously the host, and she's asking Aniya, what brings you here? Like, what are you kind of hoping to get from this? And she says, I'm open to exploring. Not only does she say I'm open to exploring, she says, I have a roster, have had a roster before, and I believe you need a roster so that you can know what you like. You need to be able to explore so you can know what you like.
I feel like every girl has a roster.
I like it. I feel
like you have to I feel like every girl has a roster. Until you commit to one person, I feel like you gotta have a roster.
That's like a great way to figure out what it is that you want.
That's what I'm saying. You get to explore.
Please hold that at the forefront of your mind as we go through this video, because she's going to crucify KC for exploring. Let's just put that in our little mini pocket. Let's hold on to that. That's before the show even starts, basically. When we get to the door game, same episode, one of the first doors that she gets, KC and Sincere, and she does compliment both of them. She says, both of these guys are hot. I'm excited to kiss both of them. Let's get into it.
I see KC and Sincere. This is what we came here for. Like, I'm about to kiss some fine men.
We all know how that door game went. She chose Sincere, but Sincere chose Melanie, and so she ended up single. No one chose KC, and the interwebs are never gonna let him forget it. And so they end up together by default. They're the default couple. But they both say that they feel good about being, well, they don't say they feel good about being a default couple, but they say they feel good about the couple. You know, they've been getting to know each other over the past, whatever, 24 hours, 12 hours, however long it's been. They can see it actually going somewhere. They believe that they genuinely like each other. All good and fine. During the dot game, that's when they bring in the first two bombshells, Kata and Gabe. They have the choice to stand on the red dot and go explore with a bombshell, or they can stand on the green dot and continue to explore their own couple. They both choose the green dot. Everything is still going perfectly fine at this time. Then we see them having a conversation. Whether the conversation is playing out is making it seem like they've had a conversation about kissing before, because KC kisses her and then he goes, that's good. See, that's good. As if they had a conversation about their kissing styles before. And if you saw how she kissed him during the door game, which I am going to include in here actually, then you would understand why the kiss was odd looking. It was, and they even laughed after it. Like, it was a very awkward kiss even at that door game. And so I think they did have to have a conversation about working through how they like to kiss each other. And I think it was lighthearted. He was saying like, this is good. She was saying this is good. Everything's going good.
See, that's good. I love that.
I like that too.
I love that. Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Next major event, in my timeline at least, Sean is upset about the fact that Beatriz decided to explore. He goes to talk to Melanie and Aniya. In that conversation, Sean tells Aniya, yeah, you and Trinity were my top two. Sean walks away, goes about his business. Aniya then turns to Melanie and says,
that's so crazy you said that though, because literally he was my top two as well.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Wait, this is tea.
So we already know right then and there, KC wasn't her first, Sincere was her first, Sean was her two. We could put KC at number 3, but maybe not, I don't know. Judging by looking at both Sean and Sincere, maybe that's not her type, but you can be interested in multiple different shades and colors of people. So we're not even gonna say that. KC was her number 3. We see them kissing in the bed, okay? Because there's a lot of conversation around the fact that she doesn't wanna do anything. At this point in time, we see them kissing in the bed. KC thinks that they're all good up until this point. Like, he thinks they're good. He's having a conversation. He says, she don't even get jealous when I say I wanna explore. Like, we're good. Everything's going great. We're having a Love Island experience that we're supposed to have.
The same page, like, she don't take shit personally, like when I talk to somebody else, or like, you know what I mean?
Like, she's not that jealous.
She's not jealous at all.
And that's when we get that conversation between Aniya and Melanie where she says, I told Sincere, I'm gonna pull KC tomorrow. Melanie said that. And then what does Melanie do? She pulls KC tomorrow.
But if it doesn't, we just grow old and have no kids and travel.
She pulls KC tomorrow. And then as KC and Melanie are having that conversation, Aniya is speaking to Sincere and she's like,
I just want him to be honest, like who he wants to talk to, who he wants to explore with, you know? Or like even how he feels with me, because if it's like, if he doesn't really feel like anything with me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna explore my options.
Now again, we don't see everything on this show. We know that they are cutting things to make it make sense, right? And to create drama. But up until this point, what had KC done? Who had he even explored? Her saying that I just wish he was honest is where I think the turn started to take place for the audience, because now they have in their mind, oh, he's not being honest. What was he not honest about? Speaking to Melanie? Melanie pulled him and she told you she was gonna pull him. They weren't even having that type of conversation. Then we're gonna go on to later that same day, they play the office boss game. And Melanie, again, chooses KC as her office crush.
My office crush is someone I know been dying to taste it again. KC.
I was shocked. I did not think she was gonna pick Casey. And he looked too chipper to do it. Oh, so we're humping now. Okay. This is kind of wicked a little bit. I don't know.
And then we know in that game, we have our secret bombshell, Corbin. So once Corbin officially comes into the house that night, Aniya is talking about Corbin.
Tall, caramel skin, curly hair, pretty hazel eyes. He's everything a girl wants, for real. He is fine as fuck, and I know them guys are not gonna be prepared for this shit at all.
Aniya pulls Corbin. Corbin doesn't like Aniya. And I think we need to have that conversation as well, because had Corbin been attracted to Aniya, we would have been having a whole different conversation. She would have been having an entirely different Love Island experience. But he didn't want her. And I'm not saying that to be shady. Corbin would not want me either. Why? Because Corbin likes blonde-haired white women. I don't know if Aniya has taken a look in the mirror, but she's very much a black woman. You know, he wasn't gonna want you regardless, girl. There's a point in time, which I'll obviously get to later on, where she says, I haven't done anything when anyone's come in. KC hasn't seen me trying to chat with somebody else or liking someone else. And it's like, girl, you did. He just didn't like you back. Had he liked you back, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But because he didn't like you back, and you could kind of feel that because clearly he liked Kenzie, then you knew that that wasn't gonna work, and so you fell back and you retreated. It's ironic because she's saying that KC is making her feel like a safe option, when in reality, she's kind of using him as her safe option. After that is when we have the Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunnies Never conversation between Aniya and KC.
I just feel like darker skinned women, like you guys get the short end of the stick, and like they try to put like a negative connotation on you. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like that was a really big thing for me, but now that I'm like older, like I feel better.
Like embrace it, because like you're the blueprint.
This is where y'all start calling him performative. Now let's look at that timeline again. Aniya pulls Corbin, very quickly finds out that Corbin is not into black women. And then one of the next major conversations that we see Aniya and KC having is the fact her skin color is enough. Y'all don't think that something happened that night with the fact that Corbin didn't want the black girl, for him to bring that up and like say, I love your skin color? Or do y'all think he brought that up out of thin air and he's just being performative? Because that's what a lot of y'all are saying, and I find that very odd. It also didn't feel like the conversation was coming from out of nowhere on Aniya's part. She very clearly knew what he was addressing, and that's why she said, yeah, I used to feel that way, but now I feel good. You know, thank you for reassuring me, for reaffirming me. I really appreciate that. I think that something happened between her pulling Corbin, finding out that he doesn't like black girls, and then her feeling a way about her skin color, because she's feeling like, again, somebody lighter, in this case whiter, is winning out over her. That's what I think happened. None of us know, so it's only speculation, but I do believe that something happened to trigger that conversation. Then the next day, we see Aniya having a conversation with Sincere, and Sincere is like, did you see how Melanie was reacting when old boy walked in? Like, she was hooting and hollering, jumping up and down and all this stuff. And Aniya is defending Melanie. She's just really, you know, confused about everything, and this experience is a lot.
She finds him attractive. Like, that's like her type, you know?
Sure.
So like, of course, like she pulled him for a chat, but all of us were gonna talk to him. She's just really scared of it all.
Giving Melanie all the benefit of the doubt in the world with her exploration of Corbin. No smoke for Melanie for pulling your man and telling you in your face she was gonna pull your man. No smoke for her for pulling him in the boss game and saying he wanted a taste of her again. No smoke for Melanie for any of that. It's always coming to Melanie's defense. Oh, she's just a sweet, innocent Melanie. She just doesn't understand. She's really scared. Give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so we have all that. Then we have a recoupling in which she does choose KC. They both seem very happy about it. He says he was nervous. He wasn't sure if she was going to pick him. And they're happy after that. We're moving on. Everything's great. Then they have a conversation about what if KC's type comes in. And KC says, well, it's going to take a whole lot for me to turn my head because I like what we have. Honest answer. He's not saying, no, I'm closed off. I'm still open to explore, but it would take a lot. I think that's a fair answer.
What if someone walks in your type?
Bro, they would have to do crazy shit to like top what we got going on. Like,
oh, seriously?
yes. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
so you're
it's not.
super confident.
Again, I'm not seeing these lies that you guys are talking about. Maybe not yet. Maybe I'll come across some in a minute. We also see Beatriz say, KC is so happy. He looks so happy.
Casey was like very excited. That's the most emotion I've ever seen out of that man. He's so adorable.
We then later on, maybe in another episode, I can't remember, we see Aniya saying, KC always reassures me. I feel so great. Everything's going great. He's always there to uplift me.
Whenever I'm like overthinking anything, Casey is always there to reassure me.
Yeah.
And he always makes me feel confident. Like every morning, he's like, oh, you look so beautiful every single morning.
Then we have the big bed episode. That's where Soul and Jin come in as bombshells. They have the red paint. They're supposed to be kissing the guys. KC has red paint all over him. He makes a jokey joke that I very much think was a joke, talking about, oh, the red paint came from the fact that all the colors mixed together.
It's probably like the colors mixing. The colors mixing made red.
That was a joke. Do y'all understand sarcasm? I fear y'all don't. Because I definitely saw some people say, oh, like he doesn't understand color theory. You think that was a serious comment that he made, that the colors mixed together? Like, come on, let's be real. Now for me, this big bed challenge was the precipice of everything else, literally everything else that is about to take place. He has the red paint all over his body. Aniya is disproportionately upset at him because she says, why do you have all this red paint on you? Mind you, this man didn't have red paint on his hands. So who put the paint on his body? Either Soul or Jin. I don't think we actually even see which one of them did. I think it may have been Jin because I don't feel like I saw Soul touching on his body and I saw Jin have her hand on multiple people's chests. But nevertheless, Aniya gets upset at him as if he took their hands and placed it all over his body when his wrist was handcuffed. And so she blamed him for that. And that really did set the tone for essentially everything else that's getting ready to happen. Because then Ariana says, well, how do you guys feel? Casey says, I feel blessed.
Boys, how are you feeling?
I feel blessed.
Wrong answer.
To be with my girl.
Like Casey. That wasn't funny. I don't play like that. I never have joked around or did no fucking shit like that to him.
Valid. That's absolutely
That's not
valid.
funny to me. I'm fucking pissed off. He wants to cause a fucking scene, cracking jokes, making faces, thinking shit's funny. Shit's not funny. That shit's not funny.
And that's another hit. So she says, you got red paint all over you that you didn't put there, but I'm not gonna acknowledge that. And you feel blessed because a new bombshell just came in? Yeah, girl, that's what the show is about. It's about exploring. You said you think that having a roster and exploring is a great way to find out what you like. Now you're already backtracking on that now. Now you don't want him to be open to exploring. So she already is upset about that situation. And then before I get to this next part, I wanna say one of my stances has been that I believe that Aniya is trying to dim KC's light. I believe that she's making him want to dim his light because of things that she's saying to him. We've seen her tell him before, you're too jokey, which we'll get into. But there's this part right now where they're talking and KC says, oh, I know I get a little carried away sometimes. I've been trying to tone it down. And she says, no, you've been doing good. So we already know, even this early on, he's already toning things down for her. He's doing exactly what she's asking for, and it's being received well by her. She says, you're doing perfect.
You look great.
You're so funny.
No, you look good though. But I know I be getting carried away and shit.
No, honestly, you've been doing so much better.
I was doing a lot. Yeah.
No, you're perfect.
Now she also does a confessional during that big bed challenge because they also bring in Caleb at that time. And in her confessional, she says, oh, it's so good to have another man to look at in the villa.
He was a good kisser. So it's nice to have, another fine man in the villa.
All of this while just going off on KC for saying he feels blessed. Are you not feeling the same way? You just said you happy to be looking at another man. The hypocrisy is insanity. But we're gonna pretend that she didn't say that. Obviously in the same episode, we find out that Soul looks like KC's ex just without the pixie cut. Important because that's gonna come back around to Aniya later. Now, during the same time, Aniya is saying, when new men come in, I don't act crazy, I don't do all this.
Every time there's someone that comes in, I feel like I'm super reassuring. I don't react crazy. I'm always by his side. I'm like, there's nothing for you to worry about.
Yeah, you don't outwardly say anything, but you're saying it in your confessionals. You're saying it to the other girls. Y'all were talking about how, caramel skin and fine and tall Corbin was, and you just this same night said it's so good to have another fine man to look at. So you are saying things. You're just not saying it to KC, to be honest. And then of course the guys are meeting So and Jen for the first time. KC has his arm on the big sofa like this, and Aniya accuses him of having his arm around So. The girl really sees what she wants to see, I'm sorry. Because she's like, I didn't have my arm all around Corbin. Okay, that's because Melanie was damn near taking all the time. None of y'all were getting close to Corbin. Corbin didn't give you the chance to get close to him. Had he done that, you would have been all over him, and you know, I don't want to act like that wasn't the case. And this is where I really start to pay attention to the fact that Aniya is really an unreliable narrator, because she'll say things and she'll take it back to people. Like, she'll take it back to the girls, like Melanie. She'll take it back to KC. She even does it later on with Zach. And it's like, that's not what was said. And doing a video like this is good because we get to see things back to back. At this point in time, this is where I realize, oh, Aniya is very much an unreliable narrator. You can't trust her memory or her narration. You can't trust her recollection of things. Now, during all this time, So and Sincere have pretty much, you know, they got their thing going on. So KC has backed off because we know that he says later, look, I backed off because Sincere was clearly already your favorite. So he does. He backs off. He doesn't really have any dealings with So after that. And all of a sudden, Aniya is happy. Why? Because the person who was a threat to her is no longer in the picture. She's happy again. KC isn't even thinking about So, and so now she feels good.
I mean, it was a little like this.
It was a little like,
A couple days ago, it was like,
like
but like now it's just like, we good, bruh.
That track.
As long as you feel good though, like I don't ever want you to feel like,
Yeah, I feel fine. Like, I'm just like, fuck it.
it's just too short to be feeling stressed and
Yeah, that's
feeling
what I'm
like
saying.
crying.
That's
like,
what I'm
out
saying.
the,
I'm
like,
so over it. That's why I'm like, just have fun. Fuck it.
Then we have the pie game where we know for a fact that So gets pied way more times than we saw. And KC, being a gentleman, goes up to her and say, hey, I know you don't want to talk right now, but I really would love to have a conversation about this because I know you were upset. I just want to be basically an ear to listen. They do have that conversation, not specifically about the pie in the face, but he has a conversation with her to kind of level things out and clear the air and basically discuss why he never pursued her. He has that conversation. Aniya and Melanie see him having that conversation, but because she knows that the conversation is to dead any possible relationship there, she's fine. She's giggling.
he's a character, bro.
He's a character. He's a grandpa for real.
Literally.
She's totally fine with that conversation. Again, because she knows that that conversation is not a threat to her. So she's totally fine with that. And keep in mind, these are all my interpretations. If you feel that this timeline is playing out differently, please let me know. Moving on, we get the soccer game. And here's where another major event takes place. In the soccer game, Zach and Kata get their prompt. Which person do you think already thinks that they're winning? They choose KC because they think that KC feels like he's already winning with Aniya, and that's why he didn't explore with So. Okay, let's hold on to that. Aniya then gets upset at KC because she says, why would Zach do that? So I just want to reiterate. She was mad at him for the paint, that wasn't his choice. Now she's mad at him for getting slimed in a game. Again, wasn't his choice. She keeps getting mad at him for things that have to do with other people doing it to him. He's being caught off guard too in this game. He didn't know he was gonna get slimed. So now she's upset at him for that. So she then goes to have a conversation with Zach and Kata after the game, and she's like, well, why did you say that KC said I was a safe option? And Zach says, hold on, unreliable narrator. I never said that.
I feel like the safer option, like with
I didn't say safe option.
What was the exact
The
wording
question
you
was
said?
who feels like they've already won. And I said I feel like it's Casey because he said when Sol came in, he was initially attracted to her. And we said, are you interested in exploring that? He said, why would I risk leaving what I've got, which is good? He's never once been like, fuck, I really want to explore someone else, but I'm just going to like, whatever, just like wing it with Aniya. That's never been the case. What he's said to you is exactly how he's feeling.
So Zach has cleared the air. Whatever KC is telling you is exactly what he's telling us. He's not saying anything different. He's actually taking up for KC. Look, he's being honest with you. She says, okay, he's being honest. And then what does she do immediately after that conversation with Zach? She then goes to have a conversation with KC, and she essentially wipes out the conversation she had with Zach, and she says, well, I feel like you want me to be the safe option.
I think you're confusing first option with safe option.
Didn't Zach just tell you that's not what he said? So why are you then it's like she rebooted and forgot. She got the blue screen of death and she rebooted and wiped everything that happened before. And she goes to KC fresh, thinking that he's saying she's her safe option. Then after that conversation with KC, she goes to have a conversation with Trinity. She again tells Trinity, I feel like he wants me to be the safe option. Trinity tells her, girl, you are overreacting.
He made me feel like a safe option. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't think it's that serious.
So now we have two people telling her, girl, that's not the situation. Trinity is telling her, girl, calm down. Zach has told her that's not what's happening. He doesn't think you're the safe option. Two people have told her that. KC has repeatedly told her that. She's still living in delusion land. She still thinks that that's the situation. So now she's not talking to him. He tries to pull her for a chat the next day. She says, I don't really feel like talking right now. He says, okay. And then this is where the grandma conversation happens. Now, I had to watch this conversation back for the purposes of this video. The way that I initially took this conversation is Casey was calling her grandma because of the fact that she immediately falls asleep in the bed, like an old person would do, like I do. If I could be in bed by 8:30 every night, listen, I'm having a great night. But I will give the Casey detractors some credit here in saying the way that conversation was cut, maybe even the way that the conversation happened, it does sound like Corbin is saying, me and Kizzy been getting it in the bed. Casey says, shit, me and Aniya haven't done anything. Then he goes, grandma.
There's sexual tension there. We was already doing shit in bed.
Me and I ain't done shit.
Grandma. As soon as the lights turn off, bro, all I see is Nia like this.
That's what I'm saying.
In the sequence that happened, yes, it does sound like he's calling her grandma for not wanting to have sex. However, keep in mind that this entire time that Aniya is upset with him, she's not kissing him in the bed at night, at least from what I can see. So when I think he's saying we're not doing anything, I think he means we're not even kissing. His mind isn't even on sex, and they're definitely not about to have sex. He's saying we're not doing anything. Nothing is happening but her laying in the bed at night. That's how I took that conversation. I understand watching it back that it could be interpreted either way, but I really don't think that man was saying she's a grandma because she won't have sex with me on TV. Like, that's a bit much, but I see how you got there, okay? I will give you all that. Moving on, we then see Aniya talking with, I believe, Trinity and Soul at the little breakfast area. And she says, ooh, stop talking, y'all. My show is on. What's her show? Her show is the men working out. Mostly Corbin working out. Guess who isn't over there working out? KC ain't over there. He gonna walk over there later, but he ain't over there now. KC's not on her show.
Guys, my show is on. I can't be. It's my favorite part of the day when they just be working out.
So what do? They take the show closer. They get a closer look and they're oogling over this. Oh yeah, oh Gabe, he has a nice back. I think we know which channel we really like to watch.
Next channel. Okay. I fear we have one specific channel that we like the most. Yeah, I feel like we want to stay on that channel.
But Casey isn't allowed to say that he's attracted to Soul. But you over here oogling and drooling over Corbin, who has already told you and showed that he doesn't like you. Is giving insecure, like I've been saying. I don't know. It's like she wants that validation from Corbin so bad. And from Melanie too. I already said that I think that dynamic between Melanie and Aniya is very strange. Then this is when we have that conversation where Casey is like, okay, you think that I'm not serious enough. You think that I'm here. Sometimes I'm too low. You want me to be here. She confirms. She says, yes, I need you to be more serious.
I mean, one of the main things is you saying I'm either laughing too much, or I'm very low.
Yeah.
And you want me to be here.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, but it's just like, that's just me. You said, oh, I just feel like you're just with me to coast through another week.
Yeah.
That was fucking disrespectful. Like, that was crazy. I wasn't your first option. But since that fucking day, you've been my first option every time.
This is a conversation that she ends up walking away from. And before she walks away from the conversation, she says, how did this get flipped on me? And I'm trying to figure out how it got flipped on her too, because I never saw that happen. What I saw was Casey express his feelings and her taking that as an attack. Someone expressing their feelings is not an attack on your character. It's that person expressing their feelings. If he's saying, I know you want me to tone it down, I'm doing my best. We already saw several clips ago that he said he's been trying to tone it down for her. She then proceeds to go to Trinity and have the blue screen of death once more and misrepresents that conversation that she just had with KC and says, he flipped it around on me. He's trying to twist words. And, you know, he a fast talker and all this stuff.
You should have seen my face up there. I was dead fucking confused. Bro, that's why I'm like, I feel like I got bamboozled up there, bitch.
Yeah, low key. What the fuck? But you know, men so damn good with their words. Sometimes they be like, whoa.
I swear it was an Uno reverse card in that bitch, because I'm like, why am I being sympathetic?
Again, I didn't see that happen. Maybe it did, but even the tone that I saw the conversation happen in, it don't look like that's what happened. Then we get to the mailbox game. They both leave each other very sweet notes. Everything is good after that. And of course, Soul goes home. And everything is real good after that. They kissing in the bed again. Why? Because the threat has left the building. And then we have the prince game. Aniya's really excited because she's always felt like a princess. And of course, in that game, Bryce decides to choose KC and saying that his intentions aren't pure. And Aniya gets upset with KC again. So we have her mad at him for the red paint, mad at him for the Zach comment in the game. Now she's mad at him for Bryce picking him in the game. And I understand her point of view. Her point of view with the two games is like, why do people keep saying these things? But my thing is, she got the explanation and she got the clarification. Zach said, I didn't mean it in that way. I just said that I felt like he backed down from exploring Soul because he felt like what he had with you was already good. But instead, she's piling it on top as if it wasn't already resolved. So now when we get to this, Bryce is saying his intentions aren't pure. So then, of course, we hear Bryce talking to the guys later, and KC is like, bro, why did you choose me for that? And Bryce says that he chose KC for that because KC was pretending like he didn't have the ability to save Soul during the elimination, even though they gave him full power to save Soul.
I did that is because you said, you're like, this wasn't my vote to vote out Soul. But it's like, in reality, it's like you could have stopped it. We gave you the opportunity.
I get it, bruh.
I don't even believe that shit. I'm not gonna lie. Soul was getting her ass out that house. I fully believe that they were gonna get her out regardless. And so I feel like we didn't even get clarification on what Bryce meant by that. But that's the reason that he gives. And then, of course, it gets back to Aniya via Bryce, via Trinity, that KC tried to save Soul during the elimination, even though clearly it didn't work. And all hell breaks loose again. So she takes that back to KC. Now, in between what's gonna happen next and what just happened, we see Trinity and Bryce have a conversation, and Trinity pretty much confirms that there was something that happened in regards to skin color, and that she's opened up to Trinity in regards to her skin color.
It's not that easy in the dating scene for more darker women. So for her, like, it's very hard sometimes to just like think that somebody, truly is, for you. So of course she has those thoughts in the back of her mind.
And I think that's important. I don't want to belittle that. I don't want to undermine that. I understand feeling like you're always the darkest in the group, or you're always the undesirable one in the group because of your skin color. I get that. I'm brown skinned. I may not have gotten it as bad as her, but I've gotten it as well. Okay? So I understand what she's saying about that. But you gotta get therapy for that. At the end of the day, I'm always gonna push therapy when I think that people have something that needs to be dealt with in therapy, because I am a huge proponent for therapy. I've been to therapy 2 major times in my life. I need to start going again because I'm having another major life situations happen, and I will be going again soon. Go to therapy. It's not an insult for me to tell somebody to go to therapy. Insecurities around something that you can't change, like your skin color, you need to, because that is deeply rooted insecurity within you. It's not an insult for me to say that it's an insecurity. It is. And she needs to work through that really before she even gets into a relationship. Unless she's going to get into a relationship with someone who's not black, and she's not going to question it. You know what I mean? Because maybe she's not going to question it when the man isn't black. Nevertheless, she of course brings it up to KC. Hey, I heard that you wanted to keep Soul here. Mind you, Soul is gone. And this woman gets mad again. If you would have kept her here, you would have been the only one exploring her. And KC says, yeah, well.
Sincere is fully off of it because Sincere didn't want to keep her. So it really would have just been you pulling her for chats.
Probably.
You see?
Probably me, yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I do find it weird that you were the only one like rooting for her.
You don't got shit to worry about, bro.
I didn't say I was
I know, but like I know how you are.
No, I'm good. You know what? Do whatever you want.
The whole time all of this is happening, by the way, Aniya is saying, yeah, we're still open. She's saying, yeah, we're still open. But her actions are not showing that. Anytime KC even hints at maybe wanting to be open, she starts throwing a fit, crying, storming off, walking away. And so I also think that needs to be acknowledged, and I brought it up in other videos, and I've talked about it in comment sections. It's like she's conditioning him to not want to explore. I used this example before. When you were a kid, if your parents told you could have some candy, and you go to reach for the candy, and they do this, and you say, didn't they just tell me I could have some candy? Let me try again. You go to reach for the candy, and they do this. Or you go to reach for the candy, and they start yelling at you, and they start crying. Why are you grabbing the candy? Why are you grabbing the candy? I know I said you can have it, but why are you grabbing it? You're gonna be like, 1 + 1 is not equaling 2, and eventually you're gonna stop grabbing it. You're literally being conditioned to stop doing the thing that they're telling you that you should be doing. She's gaslighting him, and I don't know why y'all refuse to see that. If it was a man doing it, y'all would be saying it up front. But because it's a woman, and because we rooting for everybody black, as we should. But rooting for everybody black doesn't mean allowing them to not receive consequences. She's doing something wrong, and I'm gonna call her out. I don't care, black woman or not. She's doing something wrong. She needs to be called out on it. So now she's upset because KC would have explored Soul had Soul stayed, even though Soul is long gone, and she over there getting ready for her After Sun interview. And all of that just happened brings us to about episode 15 or 16, in which Casa Amor starts. And so we're done. I'm not getting into anything that he's doing in Casa Amor because he's doing exactly what he should be doing in Casa Amor, which is exploring. So for me, that's not even a topic of conversation, because the only reason people are upset about how he's moving in Casa Amor is because they think that he's somehow done Aniya wrong. And I just don't see it. Listen, I'm open to hearing all your thoughts. Let me know if you agree with my interpretation of things. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think, you know, I saw something in the wrong way. I'm open to all of it. I just want to have a place to have a discussion. But Aniya, love you, sis, but girl, reel it in, and then reel it back out to a therapist's office. And then we'll come back and we'll see how you fare after that. There's no episode tonight, so you're gonna get this, and I'm gonna go edit it. So you'll see it when you see it. Okay, bye.